All right, so let's begin. This is a podcast, Some Dumb Gaijin with guests. We got Matt, we got Kory.
How's it going, guys?
And, well, they can't talk back to you.
Well, they might be.
Maybe.
They might be one of those people who are like, I'll talk to you through the screen.
It's the Poltergeist podcast. They come back in.
Yeah, exactly.
So what were you going to say, Matt? Before we hit things off, we watched the Mortal Kombat movie, all of us together, and you were going to say something about it?
Yeah, I did. I was going to talk about something that I haven't seen anybody else talk about online,
All right.
which is about the reptile scene.
I didn't like that.
Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah.
Okay?
Watch it.
If you haven't watched it, I'll put tags on there so you can skip forward then.
Exactly. Everyone talks about how stupid reptile looks. Right? Because it's like he's an actual lizard in the fucking movie.
Well, he looked better than the reptile in the original Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Like
the
tie-dyed.
part where he turns invisible...
Yeah.
To me, I remember like playing the old Mortal Kombat games where like Reptile didn't turn invisible. It was Chameleon that turned invisible.
No, the original Mortal Kombat 2, you could turn invisible with the moveset.
With Reptile?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So
Because the original Mortal Kombat was badass. You had
Yeah.
Reptile that could turn invisible, you had Shang Tsung, you could make him change into any character in the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was like up,
Yeah.
up, left, left, block, and then you'd become Liu Kang, or then you'd go left, right, right. That's totally not how you do it, but you know what I mean? And then you'd be
Yeah.
Sub-Zero. Like, I love Shang Tsung because it was like, now I can be every character.
oh yeah.
It was pretty dope.
Okay, so obviously, well, you guys can correct us in the comment section below, but
Corrects me.
I just remember Chameleon being the one that turns invisible, not
No,
really
'cause
Reptile.
If
Sounds
I'm right,
familiar.
Chameleon came out like Mortal Kombat 3, and it was like
Yeah.
the after that,
Oh, okay.
I believe. But there's also two Chameleons, I was telling you that.
Well,
There's
yeah.
Chameleon with a C and Chameleon with a K. Nerd!
Well, did Reptile in the original Mortal Kombat go invisible too? And that was before
That's what I'm saying,
some
yeah.
of those games?
Oh, the games?
Yeah.
The games were before the movie.
No, but before like the third or fourth game maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mortal Kombat 2,
Hmm.
what I believe is where Reptile went invisible for the first time.
Okay. So then that would be why no one else was talking about this.
Yeah. Why? What did you want to say? You thought it was
No, that was
Chameleon?
it. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Chameleon had turned.
I actually think that it's Chameleon.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to bring Reptile back for the other one. So they're going to be like, oh, we killed Chameleon. That was the other Reptile guy we
I
had.
was thinking
Yeah.
that too.
And that way they can have Reptile be in there.
Yeah, because they didn't really call him Reptile. They just called him
Yeah,
the Reptile.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
They said the Reptile, then something else. I don't remember what else they said right after, but it was get the Reptile something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So diving right into some conspiracy shit. I was telling Kory just before you came,
Yeah.
just before we started the podcast, that did you hear of China's plan of 2045? You haven't heard about that either,
I
huh?
haven't.
So I was listening to Joe Rogan and they were talking about it, and basically China has a plan to conquer the whole world by 2045.
Wouldn't doubt
Okay.
it.
And it was like a
Yeah.
former CIA agent talking about it, and he's just like, yeah, China has this plan, they're doing it, and Joe Rogan's like, yeah, but it's not really a big threat, is it? And they're like, oh no, it's a pretty big threat.
Jesus.
And the only thing is, so they have this plan that we know about, so hopefully we can cut them off before they do anything.
No.
Well, if the Americans can't, then that's pretty bad. If they already know about it, then that
Yeah.
says something about the American army.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Kory could probably describe it better, but China is a big-ass threat, right?
Oh yeah, well the Belt and Road Initiative right now, if you look at it on a map, it's just like roads and train tracks right into Europe. And they're all like following historical invasion routes.
Yeah, that's
And I
right.
looked it up because I was like, it's got to be invasion routes. And there was like think tanks around the world who have all said that they are invasion routes. And now you see
Shit.
like Australia and these countries are pulling out of it, saying they don't want to be part of it. So, I mean, if it was just for trade, why would they be all afraid?
Yeah, right?
There has to be something.
But, and then before you were saying, like, India, if China goes with India, basically they could take over the whole world.
Oh yeah,
Oh god, yeah.
yeah,
but-
right now.
Right now, India's losing numbers, right?
Yeah, well, they're fighting with China, they say, but at the same time, they're fighting over the fact that India is building a road up towards where China's building their road. So it's like, are they just pretending to fight and then they're going to connect their roads? You know what I mean? Like, it would be a good ruse.
It would be, but
Yeah,
who knows?
it's pretty creepy to think about it.
that really is God.
Yeah.
It seems weird that they would actually fight each other knowing that they'd be unstoppable together and then screwed if they were divided. So
It'd be an interesting
I
combo
think that'd
though,
be
India and
smarter.
China. Have they ever paired together before in the war?
Not really. I don't think. No, I don't know.
Like
They've
World War
always
I,
been
World War
fighting
II?
over the border in the Himalayas, but
Yeah, right.
other than that, they haven't really fought a war with each other. But
Hmm.
they kind of
Yeah.
left each other alone throughout history, I think.
Yeah.
I can honestly see them teaming up.
Mm.
To be completely honest, because they used to be trade partners like a long ass time ago.
The Silk Road.
Yeah, with the
Is that
Silk
right?
Road,
Yeah.
and like the Indians were the ones who showed the Chinese martial arts and stuff like that.
Chinese are Indians. The Indians are Chinese.
Well, I'm not going to speak about that because I don't have like education on that.
I know. No, I hope no
I've
one
never
hates
looked
me
into
on that
that.
one.
I've
Well,
never
they're
looked into
South Asian, but they're not
that. Mhm.
Hindus in China. But
No,
Yeah.
no, I know. But anyways, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, did you hear about Elon Musk in the news?
what now?
He's being the host for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
heard
Yeah.
about that, and it's apparently going to piss off a lot of liberals for doing that.
It pissed off the SNL staff already,
Okay.
most of them. Although Pete Davidson is really cool, and Pete Davidson's like, I think it's a good idea, and I agree. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be better than Trump,
Mm.
better than Sinead O'Connor, if you remember that, better than Rage Against the Machine.
Oh.
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
And he's already posting shit online. It's funny, man.
Mm.
He's like, I think we should do this sketch. I think we should do this. Tim Dillon, who got fired from SNL, who's badass and really funny comedian, he was like, first SNL sketch with Elon Musk is they build a sketch for $2 million and then it explodes and crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been following a lot of Elon Musk?
I just see his tweets in the news, really. So
Uh,
every week or so, he says something that makes it into the news.
Yeah. Oh, I put up a good tweet about the India and COVID.
Mhm.
I said, COVID numbers are rising in India. They better curry up and get a cure. I like it.
Yeah, that's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Right?
That's a
Right?
good joke.
I'm trying to catch up on Twitter. All the comedians do like a joke or 2 jokes a day. And I'm like, shit, well, I don't got writers and I
Yeah.
gotta think up this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me with my art. You have a lot of these artists on Instagram. They're doing art multiple times a day,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, I'm struggling to get one art up every week.
Yeah, but yours are really detailed. So I don't know how you get that in a day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
I guess.
Unless you
But
want to
it's-
draw like fucking hentai cat girls, like poor artist skills like these nerds do. It's like they whip it up like in 5 minutes. You're like, oh, cat girl drawing. Oh, gotta do it quick. Oh, yeah. It's like they gotta do it in 5 minutes so they'll see it explode in their pants. So they gotta finish it really quick.
Well, I
Of
think a lot
course,
of
it's
them,
like, yeah.
I
That's
think
right.
a lot of them too, though, are they're trying to also do like comic book style art, and like to be in the comic book industry, you have to draw fast. Like because you have to do like draw the entire comic book within a week, and that's how many pages. Because they're put out like once a week, and you have to do the drawing, and then someone has to do the inking, and someone else has to do the coloring and shading.
Well, time schedules are retarded for art.
Oh yeah,
Like we were talking the other day, I think I was telling him after we watched like A Nightmare on Elm Street, which by the way, my fucking shirt rocks. When we watched that, I think part 5 we watched, right?
Yeah.
We're going through all of them. And part 5 was created in like 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, that was rushed.
Yeah.
And you could tell.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't that bad, but it was,
Oh.
yeah. But that whole thing with Hollywood and it has to be done in a certain timeline or whatever is kind of crap and
It
crazy
is.
and
It is.
stressful for just everyone.
Yeah, but when you're talking like a comic book industry where you have to do it that quick, it's just like you have to get a comic book out once a month,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's probably some comic book companies that'll do like 3 or 4 comics in a year,
Mm.
and their art is so much better than the ones that are doing it like once a month. But I think Todd McFarlane's
I was going to say,
like
Tom
he
McFarlane.
does it like pretty. He's starting to do it like once a month. Now, or maybe more, because he's coming out. I follow him on Instagram. He's coming out with like a Spawn issue every so often.
Is he still doing Spawn?
He's still doing Spawn. He is
Oh,
still
man.
the actual drawer of the Spawn comic books. He hasn't hired anybody else to do it. It's
I
still
gotta read
him.
those again.
And it's over 300 issues already.
Damn.
And so obviously, if it's over 300 issues, he's not doing an issue a month.
Is he still with Image?
He created Image.
Yeah. So is
yeah.
Spawn still Image?
Yes, because
Well, I thought Image got bought out.
no.
Huh.
As far as I know, it's still the biggest independent comic book company in the world.
Cool. Oh, but
Right.
no, they bought Angela.
Yeah, they
Marvel
bought
got Angela, which is like Guardians of the Galaxy possibility.
Yeah, I think he sold off some of his rights of some of the comic books to other comic book companies, but for like the majority, like Spawn,
I think someone co-created Angela. I think that was the problem.
maybe I don't know
You
as much
remember
about
Angela,
Angela.
Not really, no.
The red-haired angel girl from
She
the
was
Spawn.
the
Oh,
Valkyrie.
okay, yeah. From,
Yeah.
From Spawn,
Yeah.
She was the Valkyrie.
So she's owned by Marvel now.
yeah.
Like the whole character is owned by Marvel.
That's lame.
Yeah, she was like scantily clad, hot ass angel girl, and then like now they threw her with Guardians of the Galaxy now. Believe it or not,
I think that would be
she's
cool.
in the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's cool, but
It's
like
cool.
she's badass. She's like blowing people's heads off. She hunts
Yeah.
hell spawns, and now it's like, I'm Groot. I'm Angela. Like they made her like Ariel from The Little Mermaid, kind of.
No.
I mean, I don't know if it's that lame, but it sounds like
I'm
that's
gonna
what
have
it
to
is.
look into it. I'll have to look into it because I think that could be like a good, cool crossover in the
is-
future if they did it right.
Yeah.
Right. But what Tom McFarlane's also doing is he decided that he wants to do a first edition every month. So he's gonna do like spin-offs for different characters.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Right, for every single month, because he was saying how around the time of the 300 issue came out, he's like, well, not a lot of people have the first issue of Spawn, right? And yeah, sure, we have reissues, but no one has like the original one.
I do.
Like some people do. I think I do as well.
Yeah.
But he goes, so instead of creating more reissues of that, I want to create new issue number ones, and so that's why he's doing Medieval Spawn. Is getting
Oh,
his
he was
own.
dope.
He's getting his own line of comic books. So one month he'll have his, and then a lot of other people, like I think they have Omega Spawn now, and I think he
I don't
might
remember
end
who it
up.
was.
He's brand new.
Oh, okay.
He's brand new, so he might end up getting his own comic book sooner or later.
Well, I was
So that's
telling
what he
you,
wants to do.
did you know that they made a whole new Spawn character? And people are saying
Can't
it's
remember.
better than Al Simmons. And it's a white guy.
Oh yeah, I think you briefly talked about. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I haven't
missed
read it
that.
either, but supposedly it's really popular. And people are like, oh, it's the best Spawn ever. And some people are like, oh, it's a fucking white guy. And it's like, well, hell spawns are everyone.
Yeah.
And Medieval Spawn, I think, was white as well. Or yeah, because he
Yeah,
was
he
the
was-
White Wizard in
yeah.
the series,
He
right?
was.
So,
Yeah, he was also in the movie
yeah.
with Michael Jai White.
You
He
mean
was-
with John Leguizamo?
Well, Michael Jai White was Spawn.
Yeah, but John Leguizamo stole the show, right?
Well, of course he stole the show.
John
yeah.
Leguizamo's a man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Medieval Spawn was there in a little cameo. He was like that homeless guy with the big beard.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at one point in time, you saw his arm turn into the sword.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. And I was like,
I
oh,
always got
remember
him mixed up with Redeemer though. Do you remember the story on Redeemer? You had the toy of him. He was my favorite.
briefly, yeah.
We would sit down to play Spawn, and I'm like, fucking, I want Redeemer.
Yeah.
Well, the Redeemer, he was like an angel character though.
Yeah,
think
I
it was
think
like the
so.
original angel character, whereas Medieval Spawn was like Spawn.
Okay.
You know, just back in the medieval days.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but he's still alive because of the Hellspawn powers in the
Okay.
modern age. So.
But yeah, comic industry is weird now. It's like booming again thanks to Marvel, but it's still.
It is.
And to me, the stories are weird now because I think you mentioned it of one thing, but did you see the Social Justice Warrior comic book they have?
No.
I don't know if it's the same one you were talking about. Like there
Yeah.
was one fat girl and she's like body positivity, and then there was like another one that's like gender confusion.
Yeah, and the fat girl's power was her backpack.
Oh
Which is they
yeah,
would
that's
pull out
right.
anything they would need at the time.
It's Dora the Explorer.
And then they had like twins, identical twins. One's
Yeah.
a girl, one's a boy, but they're transgendered. And one's called Social Just or SJW or Snowflake, and the other one's
Oh god.
I can't remember. Oh no, it's Snowflake and Safe Space.
Is it serious?
Safe
This
Space.
is
I
serious.
remember hearing that.
This is 100% serious.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're like thinking this is gonna sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even if
Sounds
you're
like it's a
transgender,
joke.
yeah. But even if you're transgendered or fat, you're not gonna buy shit.
No, I feel like it's, to me, if I was transgender or fat or both,
Yeah.
I would be offended by that comment.
Pretty much, it's
Right.
forced diversity, right? That idea of forced
I would
diversity.
feel like it's mocking them.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That's what I would feel like, because
Probably,
it's
yeah.
like, you know, like these people don't call themselves snowflakes.
Yeah.
It's everybody
Well, I don't
else
remember
is
hearing the
calling them
snowflake,
snowflake.
but-
It's over here, and one of the characters is called Snowflake, and he's got like his costume's blue, and it's got a snowflake on the front chest of it.
Jesus.
But that's what we call people.
Well, maybe
who
it is
go
mocking.
bitching. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's still stupid.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
But we were talking about that a bit before with forced diversity, because if we force something and take away people's creative like ideas and things, then what you end up is with a hunk of shit, because the person's creating something that they don't want to create.
Yep.
And that's why, like, what was it? The new James Bond we were talking about.
Yes.
I don't know if it's forced diversity or whatever, but it's like, if you're calling her 007, you're writing James Bond. And if you say 007, you think James Bond. So if they want to create a new character, no problem having it black, no problem having a female, but what about 002? Right? I mean, there's all these numbers of the 00 agents.
Make less people mad.
Well, it would.
It's not even just less people mad, it's just they're just trying to get money, but also trying to get money off forced diversity.
Well, not to mention,
Yes.
like, I would feel like it'd be kind of like NASCAR. If you have like a great race car driver and then they retire or they die, then they retire the number.
Yeah.
So then nobody
Or
else
hockey.
can have it. Exactly. Hockey's the same way. Right? So, well, when it comes to like James Bond, what you're doing is by taking 007, you're ruining his lineage by all of a sudden making it someone else. You're taking away, because like I was reading.
Pretty much,
Yeah, because I was reading this whole comment section online today about why they made Melina black in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, really?
When she was supposed to be Asian, right? She's always been Asian because Katana's Asian and she's supposed to be a clone of Katana.
Yeah.
Right? And they say, well, when you change a character that's been already established, you're ruining its lineage. You're ruining the history of it. You're taking it away by completely changing characteristics.
Well, it's not just that. It's the person created it as this, and you're like, okay, no, it's going to be black.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, it's not the same character. You just threw out all the hard work and creating and all that someone else did. Like, I still have a problem with Nick Fury being Samuel L. Jackson. And people fight me on that by saying, oh, well, in Spider-Man Ultimate, and it's like, well, Spider-Man Ultimate is not Spider-Man. It's another take on Spider-Man. The Green Goblin I have a problem with, too. It was like a genetically engineered person. It's like, no, the original Green Goblin, not Norman Osborn, was a guy that got the gas and then put on the mask and was insane. And then you take out all that, and you have no character development, because then it's like, there's no Harry and his dad because it's Harry and a monster now, kind of thing. Same with Gwen Stacy, how they brought Gwen Stacy back. It's like, no, she died. And her death represents a lot of Spider-Man.
But from what I heard, a lot of the when you have a movie based off of like comic books or video games, they say, well, the main people who are going to watch it are the people who read the comics or played the video games.
Yeah.
And so like they already know the story, so why would they go and pay money to go see a movie that they already know how it's going to go?
Well,
so
and that's why the
want to
Tobey
change
Maguire
up
one was
a little
good.
bit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, unless you're going to completely change the storyline, like take Batman for example, if you was like, oh well, anybody who plays video games or reads the comic books or reads the cartoon or watches the cartoons, they're going to know exactly how it goes, and they're going to know how Batman became Batman and what he does. So then it's like, you might as well just go off exactly what the comic book is, because the only way to completely change it to make people go confused or be like, what's going on, is if you made Batman have guns and kill people like Punisher.
Well, I think the new Batman movie, he has a gun. I think someone said. The original Batman had a gun. The original comic.
Yeah.
The Detective Comics. Yeah. But I mean, like, take Kory, for example. You watch Justice League. You never read the comics. But they didn't go into the whole character storyline. But did you feel you needed that?
Nah, not really. In the extended version, they explained it enough, I felt.
Well, with Cyborg they did, right? But not Wonder Woman or Superman. But I mean...
But yeah, I've watched Wonder Woman the movie, so I didn't need them to tell me.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Well,
I think with main characters like that, you didn't really need to do it. Same with... Did Deadpool, the first movie, go into his origin, really?
Deadpool 1, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But I mean, when you do Spider-Man, you do all these remakes, and someone's like, "Oh, well, I didn't know who Spider-Man is." Like fucking 20 years ago, I guess it was the Tobey Maguire one.
Yeah.
So they really don't need to repeat it, and people can look it up, or they could do it in a flashback.
Yeah, it kind of bothered me in every Spider-Man movie. Like the first half of the movie is pretty much the same, telling the same story.
Well, if I'm mistaken, I don't believe the Andrew Garfield ones or the other one did do that.
I never watched the Andrew Garfield ones. I don't think.
No?
No, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
ones?
yeah.
No, I never watched.
I think they did a
Spider-Man.
bit, but
And then
not as much time spent on it. But.
and then the new one with what's his name now? The new
Tom
one.
Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
They didn't do the storyline, and it worked.
Yeah, that's what I like.
It was
Yeah,
good.
they kind of skipped over that.
Yeah, they did, because they're like, everyone knows who Spider-Man is.
But if I remember correctly, with the Deadpool 1, though,
Mm.
when they touched upon his origin, I think they changed it a little bit. Because I know, like in the comic books, originally he got his regenerative healing factor from splicing Wolverine's DNA in with his, because he didn't have that mutant capability.
Mm.
But I don't think they had that in the movie because they didn't have
Copyright.
because they didn't have Wolverine in the movie, so they had to change it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think of that. No, but I think it still said he was Weapon X, and Weapon X was that. Wolverine was edited or modified by Weapon X, the program by the government, and that's how they put the thing in his bone. His mutant power was himself, though.
Yeah, healing, and he had the bone claws.
Yeah.
Right, he didn't have the adamantium skeleton until Weapon X.
Yeah. And basically, Weapon X also did Deadpool.
Yep.
He was a part of that, along with Omega. There's others in there.
Yeah, I believe Omega Red was one, but he was like the Russian one. Yeah, and Deadpool was supposed to be like number 11 or something. He was like the first one after Wolverine.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
And then kind of continuing on superheroes, have you watched The Boys yet, though?
No.
And you did, though, because I made you watch
Yeah,
it.
it was good, yeah.
So now, in The Boys, without spoiling too much for Matt or anyone else that hasn't watched The Boys, you have the Deep, who is basically Aquaman.
Yeah.
And to me, I talked with Akasen on his channel about this, and to me, the Deep is like the best representation of Aquaman ever.
Yeah, more realistic and more about like what he has to deal with.
Yeah. So there's a scene in there that's like my favorite scene, and basically it's showing him and how he can literally hear all of the animals around him. And he goes into a supermarket, and there's like a fish, and he's like, no, and cuts off the fish's head, and he's like, oh, here's your sushi. And then all around him, he just hears everything, right? I'm like, man, yeah, if Aquaman can talk to the fish, he's not going to be wanting to go into town.
When he tries to save the dolphin.
Yeah, that was the best one, but we don't want to ruin that for people.
Oh,
But The Boys is probably one of my favorite superhero shows of all time now, because it's just realistic. There's even that one scene with Homelander, who's supposed to be Superman, and people are arguing like, oh, we don't need supers, and he just like has a daydream, and he just uses eye lasers and just kills like 100 people in the audience. And I'm like, fuck. And my buddies were like, yeah, that's what Superman could do.
Yeah.
And that's why Lex Luthor doesn't want him. In the comics, like Lex Luthor is just like, he's too powerful, he needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
And that's why Batman always had a backup if he did.
Yeah, he always had the kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say something like, yeah, no, Lex Luthor is kind of right in the way that.
Yeah.
So he's
totally.
not exactly like, he's a villain, obviously, but he's not exactly a villain.
Yeah.
Right, because he's like, well, I'm gonna do something bad to protect humanity. After this guy, like if he all of a sudden snaps, because even though he's Superman, he's still technically a man too, and he could easily snap. Or like what they showed in certain comic book angles, you have certain characters that would actually take over his mind and make him go bad. Which I don't know if I think they showed somewhat in the movie.
Kory's the one that watched the extended cut of Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't remember a lot of it now. It was 4 hours long, but it was definitely better than the theatrical.
Pop
movies.
Yeah, but he went bad a little bit, didn't he, Superman?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
I forget. I'd have to watch it again.
And there's another storyline that I wish they would make a movie of, but they're never gonna, and that's the Nazi universe. Yeah. So Superman and all of them are Nazis. I was trying to tell Akasan about this, but there's even one where Superman has blonde hair. Like he's the Aryan race. Like Hitler made
Yeah, I think I've
Superman.
seen the cover of that comic. Or
And I was like, fuck, that would be crazy. Because now you have all of them evil. And I think Batman was even Nazi. Like all the superheroes were Nazis. And I'm like, who the fuck is a good guy in this?
Yeah,
Like, how the fuck? Who's going to stop the Justice Leagues that are Nazis?
Like,
Marvel?
what was it going to be like? The Joker and his crew form with Lex Luthor?
Oh, I don't
and
know.
they're the good guys all of a sudden?
I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah,
It
check
was
that out.
trippy because it was like all these alternate universes, right? And this one is Hitler wins and there's Aryan race Superman.
Unless they're trying to
like,
say that
fuck.
Hitler was the good person. And everyone else
I don't
is
think it
bad.
was. No. No one has
That
the
would be
balls to
messed
do
up.
that, except Jojo Rabbit. And even then, he kind of turns into a dick at the end.
He was.
That was such a good movie. I'm so happy you made me watch that. All the seasons. What do you think we should do?
Eat the unicorn.
yeah, eating the unicorn. Yeah, creative things like that are so awesome.
Yeah,
But
it's
now
amazing.
everything's just getting edited and fucked up.
Yeah, and that's why we need the independent filmmakers.
But I mean, like I was saying, and both of you haven't watched, but Louis C.K.'s TV show was really dope and I loved it. And what he did was he went to the people and he was like, what is the minimum amount that you can give me to make a movie? And they were like something like $300,000 per episode. It's like, hey, you give me that and you get no say. Like usually you hand it in and they say, oh, well, we think you should fix this, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you give me the lowest budget you can. And then when I send it in to you, you have no say. You just publish it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
That's good.
And then his series became like award winning and it's really like unique and awesome. I've never seen anything like it. And all his series were amazing until the scandal and he shut them down.
Yeah.
But now everyone does what they say the Louis C.K. job. Like now everyone wants the same thing. Like give us the shit that amount you will and we'll just make our thing.
Yeah.
Because South Park, all these places got screwed up by
Oh, yeah.
that. And even like we said, The Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Wes Craven wrote the script. They said, fuck your script. And they fucked him over too.
Yeah, which happens all the time. That's what happens like when you have like you're not the owner of the studio.
Yeah.
And that's why I said like I've always known if you want to be able to do a movie or a video game or a comic book the way that you want to do it and have nobody else have a say, you have to do it independently.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to do it. Like start off with small budgets, maybe film it on your phone or whatever.
Your phone's looking pretty rugged there.
Yes, it is. I need a new case.
You need a new...
Brand new case.
Yeah, that looks like someone's dog got a hold of it and
Yeah,
chewed
no,
the hell out of it.
It's a few years old for sure.
Did you steal it off a homeless man?
It looks like it does.
Yeah.
My wallet
no.
looks like that. I've had it for like 10 years or more.
Yeah.
At least.
Jesus.
And that's when I'd be looking for a new wallet.
And I come-
For sure.
I can't find one like it. It's weird. Like
We'll just look for
it's
a
got
different
separate parts for money plus like a coin thing. Like I've looked through so many wallets.
And you're boring everyone with your wallet
one.
story.
Yeah, exactly.
I come back from Japan and I have a fucking Gucci wallet, like this $800 wallet, and I'm scared to walk outside with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, everyone has like homeless man wallets, and here I am with an $800 Gucci wallet. I'm gonna be robbed and raped in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one will steal my wallet.
Exactly. You should just put like a baggie of dog shit from your dog in your wallet. Yeah, you want a wallet? Here you go.
Pretty much.
Yeah, scare the shit out of them.
Oh, God, yeah.
In the other news, have you also heard that Marvel Phase 5 now
Yeah.
is out? Did you watch the trailer?
I've watched
How
the trailer.
every fucking movie is in 3 years now? Guardians of the Galaxy 2023.
Yeah.
Even though they're finished making it now. You know why?
Yeah, it's because the theaters aren't open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, so what? Now you're going to hold the movies back from us just so you can make your money in the fucking thing? Why couldn't they just do it online and ask a
Yeah.
donation or something?
Well, I just hope that doesn't mean that they know
I was gonna
that
say.
the lockdowns are going to last until 2023.
That's what I was
It
wondering
must
too,
be,
right?
Right, they have to know.
But I mean, New York, California, Florida, a lot of the U.S. states are already open. It's just
Yeah.
Canada right now that's fucking stuck in a box.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I think UK is also stuck in a box as well.
Well, I mean, like the West.
Yeah, from us, yeah.
So,
But most of the states are still locked down as well, though.
yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
more and more opening up because they're realizing that these other states are doing it, so why can't we open up as well?
But I mean, and the other thing too is I was looking at it and it doesn't look like, or what was it? There's no deaths from Corona now, even though New York opened up or something weird like that.
Well, that's what I was telling you, is that these places opened up and you'd be like, oh, well, they must be spiking in cases.
Yeah.
Because they've opened up. They're not doing mask mandates anymore. They're not doing any of this anymore. And yet it's not.
According to the data that they give us, though, right?
Well, that's where they get their data too. Like I go to the CDC, I go to the World Health Organization to see how many deaths. And that's what they're saying. They're showing that there's not a huge ass spike. It's not like we're seeing what's happening in India happen in New York or Texas. And Texas has been open for over a month. And they're now burning bodies in the streets because all of a sudden it's spiking. Like it should be if COVID is as bad as they say.
Well, everything is weird because if you think like Canada, our numbers is pretty bad too, not compared to the Europe or whatever. But the reason why people were like, oh, well, India is really bad and whatever is really bad is China is really bad at when it had it was because of the large population, right? But if that was the case, then why is Japan lower than Canada? Unless they're lying about their numbers. And even then, we have 33 million, and in our small town of Penticton even, we're so social distance the whole time. So how the hell are our numbers spiking so much with the low population, even though it's mostly in Vancouver and Ontario, but still?
It's because they still have the ability to, like, the doctor will be like, well, I believe it's COVID.
Well,
so therefore it's COVID.
That's the messed up thing, right? So what I heard was people were dying and they were just like, oh, death by COVID because he had COVID. And it'd be a heart attack or it would be like hit by a car even kind of thing.
Well, even there, like there was people here in the Okanagan Valley that they died from a heart attack. Yeah. They didn't even have COVID.
Yeah.
COVID hadn't even reached here yet. And the doctor was like, well, he died from COVID.
Yeah.
And they're like, he had a heart attack. And he's like, nope. And the family had to fight with him for a long time before the doctor was like, fine. He died from a heart attack.
And real quick, I'm not saying COVID doesn't exist or anything bad like that. I wear my mask. I'm doing everything good. I'm just saying there's a lot of bullshit in the statistics and things like that. Even with Joe Rogan with his statement, a lot of people are super pissed off at him. But if you listen to what he said, he was just like, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, I don't think if you're 21 years old and healthy that you shouldn't take the vaccine. And now everyone fucking hates him. And it was like, it's his opinion. People are like, he's not a fucking doctor. It's like, he never said he was. Like, what the hell? People are just hating that. Like, let Elon Musk do SNL. Let Joe Rogan have an opinion. Well, he's brainwashing the youth.
Well, even there, like, they say, well, listen to the doctors. Listen to the specialists. It's like, okay, but which doctors and which specialists should we talk to? And listen to? Because there's people that doctors came out right at the beginning of the pandemic said, well, just take the elderly, put them away, keep them safe.
That pee.
And that let every single person else just live their life as normal. Right? Like some Scandinavian countries did or some Eastern European countries, they kept their countries open and their stores open.
Yeah.
And everything. And they just kept their elderly and most vulnerable protected. And they said, if you're going to go visit them, wear a mask.
Yeah.
Right? And they had the same exact numbers as we had over here, even though we got put into a lockdown. And these scientists were saying, listen, what we should do is we do what they're doing. So then it's called herd immunity.
Yeah.
Right? The majority of us will get sick, but we're not going to die. And then we'll get the immunity. So then all of a sudden we can open it up. And it would probably take less time than trying to make a vaccine.
Yeah,
that actually works.
Kory had a good point before too about the antibody tests. Like, why do we not have antibody tests?
Yeah, you should be able to buy one. It would be a good seller. Why is no one selling one?
Right?
Yeah.
And it can't be that hard to come up with.
No, they had them in the beginning.
Oh, really?
They did. Yeah, but you can't find them now.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think that? Why is that?
Because they'd find out, people would know that probably 20% of the public or more is already immune or whatever.
And then what?
Plus the other half is vaccinated, so there's really only maybe 30% left of like the states that could even get it.
But if you have the antibody, does that mean that you can't get corona again? Or does that mean it can reoccur again back, right? So does it really matter?
Normally it means you wouldn't get as bad of a sickness from it.
But you can still spread it.
You could still get a variant that you're
and you can still spread it, right?
Yeah.
So well, the antibody...
If you had it and you just have antibodies, you're not infectious. But you could maybe get reinfected again and then be contagious for a while.
You're only infectious for so long. I can't exactly remember what it is, but once you get it, you're only infectious for, I think they said 14 days. And that's why you quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
Right, because after the 14 days, you're no longer spreadable. But even there, like multiple doctors have been saying throughout the entire year that this is going to be the new flu.
Yeah.
It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And that's where I'm going, okay, are we going to stay in lockdown every single year, every spring, every fall have a lockdown? That's ridiculous. The economy is going to crash. True. And that's going to help China win over everybody else.
Whoa. We don't know that. Okay, one sec. We're going to take a quick break. All right, back from the pee break. All right, so I forget where we are, so I'm just going to kick it off. I wanted to show you guys one more thing. So I did talk to you guys about Japanese comedy before I left to Japan. I showed you Gaki no Sky and things like that. And it's also weird because you guys liked it, right?
I loved it. Awesome, man.
Loved it.
A lot of foreigners don't get Japanese comedy. What do you think of Japanese comedy?
Personally, I like Japanese comedy more than American comedy or
Really?
Western comedy. Well, yeah, because like most Western comedy nowadays is just insult comedy, or all about drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. It's just mostly like stupid comedy
Social
nowadays.
justice.
Or that too now, yeah.
There is some.
Whereas like over in Japan, they're more creative with their comedy and they do a lot more different things.
Okay.
Right. Like the Gaki no Sky, where it's like you have a bunch of comedians in like say a
Really
school, and they're no laugh. You're not allowed to laugh, and they're trying to make each other laugh in various different ways. I love that more because it's more creative, and I find it funny.
Yeah.
And they seem to be able to get away with a lot more too. Like a lot of the stuff in Yaki they couldn't do here, people would sue them or something dumb. Like
it used to be that way. Now it's pretty.
A little more tame.
They cut down on it. Yeah. Like I think just in the 80s or 90s with Shimura-ken, he would have what they call gravure girls, which are basically like models that kind of do nudity as well. And he would have all these beautiful model girls like naked on his TV show at 8 p.m. on mainstay TV, and that was okay. No Japanese complained. Everything was fine. Like every Japanese person I met in their 20s or 30s or whatever were like, yeah, I used to watch it ever since I was a little kid. And I was like, but there was nudity and it was sexist. And they're like, oh yeah, it was fine. It was a little weird, but we laughed and it's our heritage and we love it. But now it's like, no. So much that when I was in Japan and I was trying to be a comedian and doing Gaki no Sky stuff, I came to a point where I was just like, now it's all censored and crap.
But at the same point in time, back then, though, they used to watch anime. Because I remember hearing something about it. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing before that anime was for kids, and the manga was for more like the older teens.
Yeah.
And yet you watch like these animes where people are being ripped in half. They're showing somewhat nudity and like very scantily clad girls and just
schoolgirls.
Yeah, like schoolgirls.
Schoolgirl.
Most of them were like still in like junior high or high school. Like what was it, Sailor Moon? Like they were like 13, 14 years old in the first volumes of it. And yet they're transforming and they're nude. Basically.
They were never really nude though.
Not really nude, but you would see the outline.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And I heard people say like they would, I think it was a Canadian or American girl, and she's like, I'd watch it with my dad, and my dad was perving out on those scenes. I think it sounds more West, but Japan does sexualize it all too. And they really sexualize young girls as well, which is creepy and weird.
Well, I had a friend's older brother who was into Hannah Montana way too much.
Yeah, it goes both ways. It's a problem.
Well, I'm pretty sure the government knows about that guy.
But like Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star, the manga, it's guts and shit everywhere. But even the anime, it doesn't have that.
Well, it's because they censored the anime, though.
Well, that's what I mean,
But
So the manga is more the adult form, and you'll see adults. You'll see 50-year-olds reading manga on the trains in Japan and stuff. But, the people that own anime are mostly the otaku nerd culture.
The mangas are more like thick, like novels, pretty much.
Yeah, and they're like this big if you get like the weekly ones, which have like 10 stories in them.
Yeah.
It's trippy. Yeah, it's like a phone book.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I think I got one because it's like this big or something.
Okay.
Like that thick. Yeah, I got like one or two.
I got one to show you, by the way.
They're
I
like
forgot.
Shonen Jump, I think.
Yeah,
is one that I
those
have.
are ones. Yeah.
Let's go.
I took a bunch from some. Long story. When we left our dorm in Osaka, me and a bunch of foreigners just started taking these big, thick mangas. They're like, "Oh, the next people don't need them."
Yeah.
Like, you're stealing, and they're like, "Yeah." Fuck it.
But then again, I also heard a lot of people over there will read the manga, and then when they're done with it, they'll just leave it on the train.
Yeah.
And so then another person can come pick it up and read it or take it home.
Kinda.
Kinda,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just throw them away, basically. No one really hoards them unless they're really super nerds.
Like the otaku.
Yeah. But real quick, what I wanted to talk about Japanese comedy in the Gaki no Sky is because I have two clips I wanted to show you guys to get your opinions on.
Okay.
So when we talk about Japanese comedy and censorship, which I was actually going to get into, but we already kind of went over it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching America's Funniest Home Videos with my mom last night. And this is a cool thing. I never knew.
Yeah.
America's Funniest Home Videos got the idea from the show from a Japanese TV show. It was Shimura Ken who did an old TV show called Kato-chan Ken-chan. I believe it was Shimura Ken, yeah. And on that show, the Japanese show, it showed Japanese kids getting like hit in like Japanese people's Japan's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
And the creators of America's Funniest Home Videos decided to get Bob Saget to narrate them. And the first episode of it was all videos from Japan.
Oh my god.
And after that, they got the people to go like, oh, America's Funniest Home Videos. If you have a funny home video, send it in, we'll put it on. And that's how it all started. They copied Japan.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Just like everything, though. That's the
They
trippy
do.
thing, right? And that was my dream to create a Gaki no Sky for US, and I think it would just blow up.
I think it would still.
But going back to what I originally wanted to talk to you was censorship and how crazy it is. So I always think of this one dokkiri or prank that Gaki no Sky did where they say that they went too far. And to me, it's a brutal prank.
Okay.
So I want to show you guys that and get your reaction to that. And for all those seeing, they can check it out along with this. So I'm recording, I have it, and let's see if I can find it. Bear with me, I'll probably edit this out so no one has to listen to me go on with this.
It's not the Hot Wheels car in his foreskin, is it?
No, I showed you that one. This is it. I don't think we have to watch all of it until here. So basically, Matsumoto Hitoshi and Hamada are pranking Yamasaki. And look how young they are here, too. And I don't want to get copyrighted either, so let's hope this says. This is like 80s or something, I would say.
I would say like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, maybe even 90s. So they're getting drunk. Hold on, let's just mute this just in case of copyright. We don't need to hear it right now. So they're getting drunk, and Hamada and Matsumoto have this big plan to get Yamasaki. But first they want to get him drunk, right? So you see him in this video. They're drinking, they're having fun. They're like, okay, we're going to prank him soon. Yamasaki doesn't know anything. He thinks it's just a drinking party. He's drinking, he's singing karaoke. And basically what I believe they were waiting for was him to drink so much that he has to go pee. And, well, let's just take a look and watch as this comes out. Because right now it seems really fun, right? Like they're singing.
Just having a good time.
I think it's like 80s though, because look at Matsumoto has hair. If anyone watches Gaki no Sky, you know Mat-chan is usually bald.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah. And Yamasaki was like 18, I think, when he first started this. Really young, and downtown were like 20, 23 when they started.
They look like they're on the 17.
Yeah. Yeah. They're young as hell. So here you go. I think this is right. I'm so happy though. That's the craziest part. And he's gonna go to the bathroom. So let's see if we can get a little. So there it is. So it said at the bottom, he doesn't know that the dokkiri, the prank, is starting, and he just went to the bathroom. So now you see everyone get up, and let's see if you guys can figure out what the hell they're gonna do here. So again, Japan, they have cameras in the toilet. And here, some random peeing. And this random black guy grabs him. And then this other black guy and this other foreigner come in. As you can see how he's struggling, this isn't, yeah. So it says homo foreigners. Grabbed by homo foreigners. That's not racist at all, no. And he says, they show him the knife and tell him to be quiet. So can you see where this is going? I don't think you can. Now they're bending him over a urinal. And there's Hamada with a fucking afro on, trying to pretend he's black, I guess, right? But hey, he didn't do blackface this time. And, yeah, they have him pulled out, and as you can see, they're sticking. It's lotion, it's lube, yeah, they're putting lube in his butthole. And now they're sticking something in it. A wiener. Yeah. And as you can see, they're actually doing it. And now this is really Japanese prank show, really. And now Mata is faking. Yep. That's happening. And now it's a fucking pickle. Or no, that's the lube he's doing. Oh damn, I thought it was a pickle. No. Yeah, he's actually squeezing it right up his butt. So probably telling him he's coming. Oh, that's fucking gross. I didn't know it was the lube he was shooting up his butt. And here you have Yamazaki crying, and the whole time he was saying, like, I have a family. And now he sees the sign that says prank, Dokiri, and he notices it's Hamada, so he's happy. And, yeah.
Stop, though.
I couldn't do that.
Because that's still kind of like...
It's rape, right?
That is rape, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you have him on the ground crying, and there's Hamada. He took off his wig, and he's just like... Proud as shit. Yeah, basically sucking up bitch.
What would have happened if the hot dog broke off inside? That just reminds me of something.
He's gonna suck it up in his asshole? But why I wanted to show you that was basically like, this was on TV. This is when Gaki no Sky was huge. I still think it was later on at night, but you kind of see like, there was no bar. There was no bar that you could cross. That was rape, and it was his kohai, so his junior, so in Japan, if your senpai tells you to do anything, you have to do it. And if they do something like that, you can't really complain. And he's on the biggest show on TV, so... Me too?
Yeah.
What did you think about it, though?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but pretty funny, too.
Yeah, right? It's weird. Like, it's funny, but...
Yeah.
Did they go too far?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Jackass went farther in some of their stunts.
Than rape?
Well...
I don't think Jackass ever went that far.
Well, no, I don't.
Have hurt people more, but
yeah, they've hurt people more, and like Steve-O almost killed himself by taking a beer and letting it hit his ass.
Oh yeah, but they've done things too that were crazy. And
they've done
the other one I wanted to tell you was with Yamasaki. They had another one. They have a small segment that they call Yamasaki's. No, maybe it was just his birthday, and basically they made him wear a diaper, and in the diaper it was all tape. Yeah. So he was pulling it off, crying because all his pubes and butt hair were being ripped off. And I was like, damn, they really tortured this guy.
It's a free waxing, though.
Pretty much. And the other one I want to show you is another quick one. This is even quicker. And this is more newer, but on YouTube they called this titled Hamada Likes Rape. So I think this was kind of like the Pie Hell one that I showed you guys and you really liked, where they have to pretend like it's a normal day. Meanwhile, or it was Matsumoto, yeah. He's pretending it's a normal day where they're just smashing him in the face with pies.
Yeah, you can't acknowledge them or something.
So here is the whole team having to not acknowledge him, but Hamada's there with a massage.
Yeah.
So this you can find in the Love Hotels or even normal hotels. It's used for deep muscle massage.
It's famously a vibrator.
And if you know anything about Hamada and Gaki no Sky, you know Hamada is Do-S, which means like he's sadomasochist. Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm trying to like watch it behind the mic. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is a dope cutie right on his balls. And that hurts. Not that I used it on myself, but I tried using it on a girl once because I thought it was a vibrator. She's like, oh, fuck, this hurts. I was like, oh, shit, yeah, I guess it's a real massage. Look at how meaty he is right in the bowel. Look at his legs.
That's at the same time, I've seen girls use that to masturbate.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've seen it.
But no, yeah, it's pretty brutal. And then
And it froze.
Used to like
that's it,
advertise on
yeah.
TV as a massager, but they knew exactly what they're selling.
I don't have the full clip, so I gotta find that. But yeah, so you saw America's Funniest Home Videos, you saw this stuff, and there's nothing like that.
Oh God, no.
Japan takes it to another level to keep it up there. I mean, they have their pranks with like horror girls. They had their pranks with horrors. No, I mean like Sadako the Ring. There was a really funny prank where they had these girls watch Ring, and then out of the TV crawls a girl dressed as Sadako.
Yeah.
Scares the shit out of them. I think it was Morning Musume, the band. But to me, those are too brutal. Like if I saw a ghost or something, I would flip. I don't know why, but if you know about me, one of my weaknesses is ghosts. I don't know why, some weird trauma shit. But no, I'd kill you. But they do a lot of that shit, which is like, damn, you're gonna give people heart attacks in this. They had another one that was funny that they had the outhouse on the beaches, and people would go and they'd sit on the toilet in the outhouse, and then the walls would fall off, and they would pull the outhouse or the toilet on a platform on a jet ski out to the ocean. So these people are thinking they're taking a poo, and the next thing you know, their toilet is being jet skied along on the ocean. Like, it's funny. But if it happened to you, holy shit, would that be brutal. All right, we're going to prank Matt.
First you'd be scared, but then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, it's jet ski, do it.
Okay, everybody wait for the prank show to Matt coming.
I welcome it.
Yeah?
Let's do it,
Yeah? I just pranked my mom the other day. I came in the house and she left like the door open, and she was talking to my stepdad in like the other room, and I just stood there like this with like a killer face on, and then she was like, yeah, and she turned around, she's just flips out. And I'm like the master of pranks. I also pranked her. She was watching a movie and she went outside to smoke a joint, and so I changed her movie setting and changed the language to German. And then she came back into the house and she's watching it for like 10 minutes and she's like, why is the Japanese guy speaking German? And I'm like, they're all freaking speaking German. And then she's like, Josh, did you change it? Took her 10 minutes. I don't know, that's pretty badass. But with Nat, we'll see if we can get any black guys to
or that's pretty strong weed. To have her not.
Nah, she wasn't that stoned.
Okay.
That was pretty crazy. But yeah, fear the bathroom then, Matt. Fear the bathroom. But anyways, with that, let's end this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll put a link down there for Matt's Instagram page. You can go check out his badass art. He has some crazy good art. And I know another buddy of mine called Midori, and he made a lot of my comedian arts on there. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if you put out a scan of your art, he could color it.
That would be dope because I'm not a very confident colorer.
And he does it all on like a digital pad, so it looked pretty true.
It would be. I just have to, definitely. Yeah, I'll have to check out his Instagram.
But yeah, anyways, guys, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave comments down below if you're on YouTube, and if you're listening there on Spotify, iTunes, whatever. Just enjoy those sexy voices and my new mic. All right, guys, till next time. Peace.
See ya.